Okay, welcome back, everybody. Coffee and art in the morning. Although, yeah, still morning. So we did a whole hour and a half of show on listing. So I just decided to make this a separate one because I'm going to do a little calligraphy project. I have a little scroll, a one sentence quote here that I'm going to scroll. I want to do in. It's a J.R.R. Tolkien quote, and I'm going to do it. I looked up some different scripts on Pinterest, found a few different things that are Middle Earth type uh, script with their different phonetic uh, marks, which I have no idea. I'm going to just make them up just to have it look kind of like that. So before I hit record earlier this morning, I just did a little practice sheet just to see what kind of B's and different ways to do the letters that I'm going to like the most for the quote. So this is my little practice sheet. We're going to do the scroll here in a little bit. And what I'd like to do, this is just shipping paper, which that got off on the topic of our old scrolls that I've done things on shipping paper, which I've cut up. I used to have these drawings on, we just call it scroll art day or whatever. But I could never find anything. When I went back to look for it, it was like it could be in 5 or 6, I don't know. Probably had 3 to 4 full scrolls, but then I had other partial scrolls that I could never find anything. So I cut them all up. So now I have them all in this portfolio, and they still curl. I mean, I can work them and get them flattened out, but I just thought I'd show you some of those because we were talking about Mimi. So I just stuck them in this portfolio here that has my stickers all over it and some of Cam's artwork. Like this is some of Cam's artwork here, 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 here. I made stickers out of a lot of his artwork. That one's his. So anyway, uh, to keep them flat in a book. So I'm going to try to find Mimi. All right, let me just go ahead and move this iPad for a minute because it's going to be in my way. So let's see what I got here in here. Again, this is all just that craft shipping paper that was on scrolls that we've done art on. I say we because I've done most of this here with you guys. My pens are sitting here getting crusty, and here's my little from this morning sitting here getting crusty, and the ink is drying out. I want to find Mimi. So anyway, these are from the shipping scrolls that I've just cut up. So yeah, different little bits. I don't know how the lighting is. Are we good on the lighting? I hope. So these are all done on the shipping paper. And so you can see I've just cut them up. I guess, how's the lighting? Does it look okay? Does it look a little flashed out? I'm hoping not. Let's see. This one we cut out. This was on the shipping paper, and we cut them out and put them on black paper to show different ideas of what you can do with them. Most of these I think are from 2015. So lighting's good. Okay. Here's our Franken giraffe. Lightning bolts. Big sea turtle. Wallpaper your room. I have no walls. Seriously, Whippy, every wall in this room is with shelves. There's no walls. It's all shelves. Here's our Count Pugula. Count Pugula with his glitter blood and eyes. He's got glitter in his eyes there. I don't know if it's going to show up, but yeah, there's Count Pugula. Did a little calligraphy over there. A seahorse. I'm just going to do a quick flip through this because I'm looking for Mimi. Some more sketches of sea turtles. starfish, shells, shell, bits. This is our bits of peacock. There's some little, we did a whole bunch of studies. There's the feet. There's another one of his head, feathers, another feather, peacock feathers. Giraffenstein, you like Giraffenstein? Some more peacock studies. Again, it's a little flashed out, guys. It's a little, probably like that's like true color. I'm trying to look at the camera. But I have a lamp right here and the window, so. But I want it kind of bright when I do the calligraphy. So, yeah. Deer. So I just cut it all up because the scrolls were too hard to get through. Oh, here's a big octopus here. Here's remember we're doing an idea list? I imagined that his tentacles were all, it's a flute, and he's playing a musical instrument. So this is big. You can see how big this is. Owl. Mimi, where are you? She's in here. Oh, here's some slow lorries. Again, more sketches. It's great, guys. If you just get a roll of this shipping paper, you can get it for like $3-4 for, I don't know, 50 feet. I don't know. It's a lot. You can get a lot of paper. You get a lot of good out of a roll of shipping paper. And there's seats left in the healing corner. Yeah, I won't mention that, Miss Allie, but feel free to go sit in the healing corner. I don't think you want that on a recording. Okay, so let's see. Here's where we played with a cardinal, and I forget what the project was, a bathrobe, and oh, he had goldfish slippers on, fuzzy slippers. We wrote down some of the notes. Some more ideas here. More ideas. More ideas. Yep, this was Professor Avion with his pocket watch and fob. Okay, pelican. Pouch. There's his boots. Floral rain boots. Pink combat boots. Doc Martin boots with a martin. Oh yeah, because it was a martin bird, so we did Doc Martin boots. What do you use? What do you think of new? I don't like newsprint myself. If I'm going to use something for like just doodling and sketching, big and you know like this, I'll use this shipping paper. I don't like the newsprint's a little too thin for me. If that's what you're talking about, or I might have missed something. Nah, these are just sketches, guys. We did these koi fish with finger paints. We finger painted some fish with just white and orange paint. Mimi's in here somewhere. Okay, this one, what was this one? A ornithologist. Pixie Hollow. Oh, we had springs and coils for their hair. Yes, exactly, Allie. Some little angel fairy drawings. Here's some calligraphy practice that we did. I say we because I did all this online. Here's a ideas. This is a packing tape transfer. What else we got? Just some leaves here. What's this? Caterpillars. A robot mailbox. Pumpkin. And we use, this is, I forget if this is portfolios or something. We were testing out some kind of crayons there. Hey, Jessica. What's this one? Oh, here's our big lizard. We did real scaly skin on him. He was the Lizard of Oz. We got one claw done. Here's how it looks when you just initially. This is what he looks like. Here we start with this. This is what you start with. That. Then it goes into a little more detail, till you go from this to this. Lizard of Oz. Here's some blue frogs. Open-toed shoes. Frog flops. Silver was the one that said that. I try to write down who said the ideas too. Here's some blue frogs. The paint colors we chose. This is what we start with. We just start with a little pencil sketch like this. And then develop them into more, there's a little eye, colors. There's a close-up of a foot with a open toe shoe, frog flops. Okay. Mimi! We found Mimi! Here's Mimi! The alligator Mimi. If y'all never watched Drew Carey, do you remember his secretary Mimi? This is Mimi. She's got her pearls. She's clutching her pearls, Janet. She's got her alligator bag, her cigarette. She's smoking and blowing smoke out her nose. So yeah, there's our Mimi. So this is the kind of stuff, this is what we do here, people. And then here's a little sketch of another one that we were thinking, we just sketch them out, get ideas, and then somehow we end up with this. She's got her blush on, her red lipstick, her false eyelashes, her big bow. Mimi always wore a big bow. Yes, this was a fun stream, wasn't it? She's got her cigarette over here. And she has on Crocs. Her shoes are Crocs. You all know Crocs? Okay, so that's Mimi. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. These were just some ideas, making something out of splatters. I didn't keep everything, guys, and it was really a hot mess. I didn't keep it. Oh, here was some prompts. We picked out the prompt jar, I think. We did, drew a yoo-hoo and made it a rocket. Yeah, we're going to put Woody on it and make it a rocket ship to infinity and beyond. Okay, here's, this is using that foam that you can stamp into. I put my hand right on it. Here we go. This stuff. This foamy stuff. If you heat this up, you can, I just bought a bag of scraps at a scrapbook convention years ago. And you can heat this up and mash into it. Let's see, what can I find to mash into? I don't have any buttons handy. Let's see, something textury. Let's see. Here's some paper clips. We'll do paper clips just to show you how this stuff works. So you take your heat gun and you can reuse it. Like I don't even know what that was, something. But you can reuse it. So let's put some paper clips out here. Okay. Now I'm gonna remelt it. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't want to do it right under the camera. So you just heat that up, and that'll go away. That design will go away. And once that design is gone, Then while it's still hot, you mash it into whatever. And we did this one with buttons here. So you just kind of mash it in until it cools. Okay, now let's just pick all that up. And then you have your stamp. So now, let me get some paint real quick. Rabbit trail. It's a rabbit trail. Let's get something that'll show up here. I'm just going to do it with my finger, but you could do it with, you know, a sponge or whatever. Come on. All right. So I'm just going to put some out here. Trying to get something to show up. See, that's not going to show up. I need white or something that's going to show up on craft paper. Hang on. All right. Let's see. Let me get a sponge here. I don't know what it's called. One of the girls knew it before, but I don't remember. It's a heat foam stuff, and I don't ask me where you can get it or anything anymore. And I wasn't real careful here. You can take more time but you make your own stamps. See? And that's what we did here with the buttons. Then you go in and can paint them or whatever. Clear Snap Magic. Thank you, Terry Trouble. Clear Snap Magic. And these are just scraps. I think you can buy nice, neat little squares of it. Yeah. But it'll go on anything. Anything that you can smash into. Jewelry. Like even a wood stamp. Let me see. Let's see if I can have a hand. Because I rearranged my room here. Now, you can't get it too tiny. You can't, if it's too detailed, I don't know how well. Let's try this one. It's like, well, Fun Foam, you can do it with Fun Foam too. But Fun Foam's so thin, you know. Now, you could probably do this on Fun Foam. Okay, so I stamped this stamp into it. Now you can... Well, let me do it a little better. I didn't get the whole image. See? And be neater. I mean, I'm not even taking my time or anything, you know. I just want to show you the process there. So you have the negative image of your, Fun Foam on kids' blocks. Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah. I just, you know, I've just had this around forever. Okay, so let's move it out of the way. Let me put this little foam, let me put my little sponge in the water so it doesn't dry out and crust over. All right. Okay. Self-portrait or selfie in black and white. Let's see what else we got. Oh, thumbprint. You can make ladybugs with your thumbprints. Thumbprint ladybugs. Okay. Jeans groups. Oh, okay. This was an impromptu prompt show. And Jean, here's a list for you guys. List all what like for instance, a flock of geese. Well, here's all the different kind of things. Did I just stick my hand in my calligraphy? Okay, I lost my calligraphy pen. Seriously? Where'd my calligraphy pen go? I'll have to dig that out. Hope I didn't put my calligraphy pen back in this portfolio because we're getting ready to do calligraphy. Like a herd, a swarm, a bevy, a murder of, like a ravens are called a murder. Flock, a school, like a school of fish. um, a brood of chickens, a pride of lions, a band of coyotes, an army of ants. So yeah, we have our little list there. We won't get into listing now because we just did an hour and a half of that. Oh, here was some crayons. This is melted crayons. Made a little scene with melting your crayons, but it does go through. The wax does go through when you melt it. So starfish. Again, here's the colors we used. A gaggle of geese, yeah. Feather, little owl over there. Emu. I did a whole bunch of these. I gave away a bunch of these. I made a whole bunch of emu tags. An eagle. Rainstorm. Hummingbirds. Little deer. And some little sketches. I photographed this one. I took a big Prima flower and put the flower on there to show how you can take one of your drawings and add. It's really bugging me that I can't find that calligraphy pen because it was right here with this one. Ah, it's on the floor. Okay, it rolled on the floor. Let me see if I can find the flower. Here we go. I don't think this is the exact one, but you'll get the idea. So look at these giant Prima flowers. I think they're Prima. Are they Prima? Yeah. And so I took one of them. I think it was the pink one. I took one of these, or two, and I arranged them on her head like this. And I photographed her like this. And it looked really cool. You got a Christmas emu from me, Susanna? And so take your, you know, whether it's a flower or it could be anything, but add some of your own elements, 3D elements, to your drawings and photograph them, and it's kind of cool. So, yeah. One of my, I took this off the shelf to get to the flowers. One of my little, do y'all remember these? Little chipboard things. These chipboard, almost like a recipe card thing. And, yeah, this is one of my little flip trays there. Okay. Rabbit trail. Okay, let's go back to this. We're almost done. We're getting down to the bottom. Here's some more calligraphy. Did giant calligraphy letters with, which pen did we use with this? I think we used maybe this one. Big pen. Big calligraphy pen. We'll do this one. We should make it an ASMR. We're segueing into the calligraphy. Here's some more calligraphy lettering. More calligraphy. This was how to lay out a quote, I think. How to do some fun lettering and then trace it out and reuse it on another project. These are all numbers. We just combined 1 through 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And then you trace it out, and it's a whole nother project. Okay, let's see what else. Stencils. some little, okay, oops, sorry, hit the camera. This one we were going to draw a little chihuahua, but it was too big, and then I drew him too fat, and the third time was a charm. So we finally got his little face right there. Nice segue. Little dog here. Little pug. And that's it. That's all that's in this one. This is all left over from the scrolls. And I found Mimi. So, yeah. Okay, so on to our calligraphy project now. Sip of coffee. Let's move some of this out of the way, like the stand. Paper clips. I gotta have room. I rearranged my room. I'm back on my big table again. And I'm across on the other side of the room. So before I was over there, now I'm over here. Okay, so again, this was our little practice for some old Middle Earth types of lettering. And some of them have like the phonetic dots and dashes and circles and things on. I'm going to just make that up. So again, if you are a Middle Earthian scribe, don't email me. All right, so I'm kind of using this and my iPad lettering there for some samples. And what I'm going to do is I have the quote written out. It's a J.R. Tolkien quote. And what I'd like to do, if we have time, 11, 12, we maybe have time, I want to just stress all the edges. I want to make it look like old, kind of maybe torn, painty, inky, dotted, torn scroll. That's the plan. So let me get my little thing here. I've got my little, this is just a soapstone where I put my ink in, and there's still a little bit of ink in there, but if it dries, when the ink dries, you can peel it out. And I'm just using some traditional Chinese ink, and I'll probably need a little bit more because this has been sitting here since 7:30 this morning. 8:30, 9:30, 3 hours. This has been sitting here for 3 hours. Okay, Carol Renee, have a good one. Thank you. So we spent a lot of time on the list this morning. Let's move the book. All right, and it will roll because it's from the scroll. I mean the roll of shipping paper. That's all this is, shipping paper. Now I'm going to put this on top here so that I can weight it down and kind of scroll it out. Hopefully, I would not, if I was doing a certificate, I do some certificates for a local dojo, graduation, big certificates, you know, those big 2-foot certificates. I would not do it on this. Okay, there might be a little bit of Scotch tape here, a little bit of scrunchy, but this is a little bit thicker paper. The shipping paper is a little thicker, so I don't think it'll matter much anyway. So don't forget your weighted stick. Yes, I do have my weighted sticks from, hang on, Sarah O gave me my weighted sticks. But I'm going to just pull it along here. So I'm going to just pull it along here. So, well, let me read y'all the quote. So the quote is, facts become history, history becomes legend, and legend becomes myth. And it's J.R.R. Tolkien's from the Fellowship of the Ring. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm working on a history project, guys. Some research on a history project, and I wanted to do this for the history buffs out there that I'm in contact with. Didn't forget your weight. Yeah, no, didn't forget them. Yeah. All right, so what I'm going to do, and let me just use this as a little, let me pull this out here, because I want to, get my pen going again, because it's been sitting here. So I want to make sure I can get a nice, good line. And so after I do this, if we have time, I want to just stress all the edges. I want to tear them. I want to curl them. I want to paint them, ink them, maybe a little bit of gold in there. We'll see. That's all that's in my head as far as the distressing part. So I have it sketched out in pencil, And what I'm going to do is just go, you need to do that. If you don't pencil it in, no matter what you're doing, even if it's just one person's name on a certificate, you want to make sure it's going to fit. So you write it all out in pencil, then you have to make sure your ink is 100% dry before you go to erase it. Because there's been times where you think your ink is dry and you go to erase the pencil and you smear your ink. It takes longer for this calligraphy inks to dry than you'd think. So if you have any questions, put them in caps, and I'm going to just go off of some of this, some of that, and I'm not going to put any of the little phonetic dots or anything. I'm going to save that for last and kind of just space them out, make up my own, uh, you know, uh, just to kind of give it that Middle Earth feel is the plan. Okay, so let's go. All right. So this is going to be a shh. Okay, I can already tell. I'm already pushing into that. I'm going to have something under it. So let me put my calendar back under there. I can tell I'm going to push through the paper because this is cushiony. My table has like 6 or 8, I don't even know how many layers of black paper on it. And I can tell when I push down, it might poke a hole in it. So I'm going to put the calendar back under it. All right, so. And you technically, I say this every time, you technically don't want to have to re-ink your nib in the stroke. You want to have enough ink to finish a stroke, but sometimes, especially if it's big and it's on craft paper, I have to re-ink and go back over a stroke. You really do not want to do that. So, you want to be able to calligraphy without going back over a stroke, if at all possible. What kind of pen? It's just a calligraphy nib pen. It's just a plastic. This one happens to be plastic. It's a plastic holder. I got all different kinds of holders. It doesn't matter what kind of holder. It's the nib. Let me weigh this down. The nibs come out, and you just put them in. It doesn't really matter about the holder itself. This has got ink on it, so I know I'm going to make a mess. And if y'all missed Queen Pam, I've shown this before. She made me this little nib holder. Of course, I have pins that are in the jar here too. So I have all kinds of pins and nibs. Let's see if I can show you. There's all different sizes of nibs in here. But she made me a little, it's made out of corrugate cardboard that has the little holes in it. And what she did is she made me a nib holder. So if I turn it to the side, hopefully you can see. The different layers of corrugate, you just stick your pen nibs down in the corrugate. See? It fits right down in the corrugate cardboard, the holes in the cardboard. And it's a little pen nib holder with a little magnet on it. So, makes awesome nib holders. Our Janet makes, I haven't seen her nib holders. I've got to see what Janet's nib holders are. I must have missed that show, Eileen. Maybe we can get her to show that next show. Okay, so I'm kind of just free forming this. Not any particular one style, because I wanted to have, going to be little dots, dashes, whatnot on it. Okay, so I want this to come around. Hopefully I won't, well, I think I'm going to splatter anyway, so it's not going to matter if any of my letters, if I drip from here to here, because I think I'm going to splatter some anyway. So I'm just going to make that a little fancier. She sent you one? You're lucky. Does she sell them, Eileen? Okay. So my A, I want the A to be one of these angle kind. So I'm going kind of off of here too. Again, you don't want to go back over a stroke if you don't have to, but yeah. I'm going on rough paper. And I want the T. And I'm going to add little dots and things to it. Okay, what did I decide on my S? A short, fat one. I have lines here too. I don't know if you can see that. Janet won't sell a thing. I got to just remember that my calendar, I got to keep the calendar so I'm not going off of a bump. Okay, now my B, I had a couple choices of B's. And I think I want the one that kind of comes down like this. Yeah. And then the top, I think I want a little curl at the top. And then my E, I want one of these kind of E's. And I got to remember, because I'm going to write the same word again, facts become, history becomes. So I'm going to look at the lettering that I do here so that I make sure it's consistent, hopefully. And I already can see I'm getting a little bit bigger letters than I've written out. I hope I have a little bit of space at the end. So if I go over my spacing, see, I'm already into the M here where my O is. And then I had two forms of M, a humped one and a pointy one. What did I decide? I think I went with the humped one, but that's going to be a lot of space. I don't know. We don't know if we're going to fit this in because I've already gone bigger. Okay, let's see. But I don't want to try to squeeze letters down. If I have to, I'll redo it. I mean, I won't make y'all sit through it, but I will redo it if I don't like it. But what I want to do is certain little things like in the middle of the O, I'm going to do little things. I'm going to add a little bit more flourishes at the end. You're welcome, Samurai. Okay, I got to move some stuff out of the way because I've got to get the scroll able to go off the edge of the table here. I have to have room for that. Okay. I hope are we zoomed in? Do I need to zoom in a little, guys? But then when I go to do the edging, y'all won't be able to see. I'll just stay like this. I won't mess with it. Facts become, where's my H? Okay, I want a tall H. Again, I have to go back over that stroke, which I don't like to do. I mean, this is not a commission or anything. Okay, so this is for my history buffs. Okay. Now I'm going to look at my S over here and try to do kind of the same as close as I can. And the I is going to have 2 dots. And there's going to be some little, what do you call it, marks. Okay. Holding my breath, especially when it gets down to the end. See if I can squeeze it all in. And then the R, I want that capital looking R. Let's see here. And not connected, but coming down here. And then the Y, which Y did I decide on? I think I wanted the pointy Y. So I wanted this Y. There's a couple versions of any of this. If you have any questions, put them in caps. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for being here. All right, so now I have to put a little comma here. And now I got to write history again. So I want to kind of try to make it as similar as I can. Made it a little fatter. See, I'm thinking about squeezing it in. I shouldn't have to do that. Might have to redo this. We'll see. This might be my practice one. Another. And probably when I put all my little fling of inks and stuff like that, it probably, you won't be able to see all the discrepancies unless you're a professional calligrapher, which I used to be. Not anymore. Just the occasional certificate for me. Okay, now I'm going to look at the become over here and try to do the same kind of B. And I think it's looking okay. Thanks, Eileen. I'm trying to scroll it off the end here without it rolling up on itself because the ink is still wet. So I don't want it to roll up on itself. Okay. Okay, let's do that weird M here. Okay, I forgot the little tail. Might need a little drop on that just to make it look more consistent. Squish that in. I know. I'm gonna have to. I think I have a little bit of room at the end. But if I don't, I'll just start over, guys. This isn't like that time consuming, you know? Okay, let's get my S. There's one. Okay, I gotta be careful because I really can't have this curling up. It's gonna curl up on the wet ink, and I can't do that. Let's see, what can I put there so it doesn't curl up? There we go. Put a pencil case down there. There's always more. That's right. I have plenty of brown paper. That's for sure. Okay, what kind of L did I want? Do I want a small L? I kind of do, but I think I'll do a lowercase looking L just because I think I don't want to take up the space of an uppercase L. That's horrible, but I can't spare the room for a uppercase L. And then the G, what did I decide? Do I want a lowercase? Let me see. I kind of want a tail on the G. If I do one like that, but the other way. But they are kind of all uppercase looking. Okay, gotta go with the uppercase and hope I don't run out of space. And then the N, gonna move down a little, is another uppercase type letter. The drop in it. Is there a letter? I missed this. So, yeah, you can. Yes, there is a way to measure your letters correctly. This is just, I'm freehanding this. I'm just not, it's not I mean, I don't even have a top upper line for my lowercase letters. I'm just freehanding this. Packing paper is thinner. Yeah, this is pretty thick. Okay, let me do my D. Do I have room for and legend becomes me? I think I might just be able to squeeze this in. All right, again, I should probably hit it with the heat gun so I'm not just to excess ink because I don't want to smear this. Because I'm trying to keep it right here under camera, right? Let me fix that. T. Make that a little fatter. There we go. It's got a little dark on this side. I did have my blinds closed because the sun was coming right through. That's a little better. That's starting to curl on there. Hang on, guys, I think I might have to tape it or something because I'm afraid it's going to curl up on my table down there. Where the wet ink is. Okay, okay, legend and legend. Okay. My A. Okay, let me look at my A again. All in. Just trying to keep them consistent. I think I'm almost out of ink in my little tray. I'm having to dip 3 times for each one. Okay. I used to be in calligraphy guilds and all that back in the 80s. I really got out of it. Once computer fonts came around, less and less people hired you to do calligraphy. So I really am out of practice, guys, for real. I only do the occasional something something. We always admired, I don't want to talk here, we always admired the British calligraphers. I forget some of their names now, but we had some, there was some famous ones that we all looked up to back in the day. Bye, Marilyn. Thank you. I'm moving my chair down now instead of, I'm going to run out of camera here in a minute. I got to get some more ink in my little tray, I think. And legend. Watch me not have enough room on the very last letter. Wouldn't that be something, guys? But I'm trying not to try to squeeze it in. I'd rather redo it, you know? And legend. I only had becomes myth. And I got this much extra space, about 4 inches at the end. Legend. Okay, where's my becomes? Yeah. If y'all hear me moaning, as my hubster would say, I'm not moaning, I'm holding my breath. He'll go, why are you going, while you're arting? I'm not moaning, I'm holding my breath. Hey, button addict. But seriously, I might run out of room. We'll see. See, look, here's myth. I have to still get becomes myth in here. I think it's going to be a do-over. But I'm not going to do it over now. Uh-oh, did I get some ink on there? Hang on. I'm not going to do it over now. I will continue to do this as a sample. You know? Where's my M? Yeah, my M. See, I've already got this too fat right here. So I want that I have a swirl. Yeah, see, it's not going to fit. uh, one word short. I should have cut my scroll a little extra. Becomes I could maybe squeeze myth in right there. But that M is a fat letter. Okay, let's go down here. See, I'm at the end of the scroll. Oh wait, Edward Johnson. Yes, Edward Johnson. I have some of his books. Was responsible for the searches of calligraphy in the 1930s. Yes, I have Edward Johnson. But there was some famous in the 30s. I had the privilege of being taught. Oh, you were taught by his star pupil. Awesome, Dot. When will we see you streaming, girl? Girl, do you still do it? You can tell I don't. I do not. And I have J.R.R. Tolkien, The Fellowship of the Ring, written down here small. Yeah, I don't do calligraphy much anymore, as you can see. Look, I'm going to run out of room at the last word. And I had it all written out and everything. See, look. Where's my Y? What kind of Y did I do? Oh, yes. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I can just barely squeeze it in. I got to get a T and an H in there. How'd my Y go? Okay, well, like this. I don't like to squeeze in anything here. But I'm just going to, again, guys, this is really not a project for anybody. It's just because of my history thing I'm working on. Where's my H? Let me get them all. Okay. Take one quick glance. I'm literally at the very end of the scroll. Okay, now I need, let me go with the littler pen and back up here. I can't let that roll because that's really wet. Okay, now I want to come over here and just do the, what kind of J do I want? And I'm going to dry it, and then I'm going to go in here with dots and dashes. I'm just got a smaller nib. What kind of T do I want to do? A cap T. I'm not looking at chat for a minute. Let's put another dot there. And then I want the Fellowship of the Ring, but I would just want that in like, then I need another nib. Hang on. Maybe it might even be too big. It sounds like Dorothy's got some scribe stories. Got one of my letters went a little wonky. Shit, because I'm kind of hurrying and I shouldn't. When you're doing one thin line letter, you can't bear down on your pen. You gotta let it glide over the top. Fellowship of the... When I pushed down, it made a little blobby. Okay, now, let me kind of clean my brushes off here. They're really like a lot of ink sitting in them because I had them sitting here for 2 hours with ink in them. All right, move the iPad. All right, now let's dry this baby, and then I'm going to add some phonetic little doodlollies, and then we're gonna try to mess up the edges. Okay. It did get a little dark here. Hopefully we're still good, guys. All right, heat gun for a minute, guys. Heat gun. Let's move this out of the way. All right. Actually, let me get a tissue here because I can see some blobs. This is a good way to get rid of excess. If you see like a big blob of ink, take you a tissue, make a little point on it, make it a little wick. Dorothy ran away before Eileen could make make a little wick with your Kleenex, and then just go in there and touch where you have a lot of ink. You can see it balled up, right? And it'll wick up your excess. Don't try to blob it down, because if you do that, you're just going to make it blob, which I'm going to splatter some ink anyway, so it's not really a big deal. But just FYI, you just want to wick it. Just kind of twist a little point and then just touch it and let the Kleenex pull up your ink. Okay, let me go along here and see. Most of it's pretty dry by now, as far as not being blobs. Okay, here we go. But again, I wouldn't trust it to be erased yet. Even after I hit it with the heat gun, there can still be ink that's damp, and if you try to erase it, you're going to smear it. But I'll get it dry enough where I don't care if it rolls up. And I'm gonna splatter anyway, but still, I want it to be a controlled splatter. I want it to be where I want it to be. Let me set it down so I can shuffle on down here. in the air. Okay, that's probably okay. It's not good enough for me to erase the pencil yet, but it's good enough for me to continue on with the project I have planned, which first, let's get a splattery brush. Oh wait, now let me go ahead and do the little things first. We'll do the splattering after that. So this is how long, I mean, I'm not even sure how long it is. Let's just say that's about 1, 2, 3. It's probably about 5 feet. 5 feet long. But now what I want to do, I do need my iPad back because some of the lettering choices here of phonetics. So you can see how they have like little dots, little triangles, little dashes, and I'm sure they all mean something if you're a Middle Earther aficionado, you know, but I'm making them up. So for instance, where the word history is, and I'm just going to use a Sharpie. I want 2 dots there, legend, and legend becomes mid. Okay, no more eyes. So, if I want any more swirls or fancy anything, I would just, on this project, I would just do it with the Sharpie. I mean, I don't really, it's not like this isn't, what do you call it, supposed to be purist. Hey, Beady Eye. Every time I see Beady Eye Beth, now I think of Hubster. Okay, so over the A, some of them have dots, some of them have... Okay, I know in the O's, I want the circles. I want the dots, because that's kind of like a Celtic-looking thing. So I'm going to put a dot in the middle of every circle. And legend... Do I want one in the D's, too? Now the D's, they have some kind of little cross thing on. I'm kind of going with what they have, but I'm kind of making it up as I go too. Okay, so the B's have that. What about over the E's? They have dots over the E's, and they have triangles. Let's go with the triangle over the E. Again, have no idea what this means in the Middle Earth lore, but I'm going to just, because I want this little, you know, little touch. So if you know all these phonetic markings, don't email me. It's just for fun, people. It's just for fun. Okay. The D has some kind of a little cross thing on it too, and kind of an angle. Kind of goes like this. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do that. Okay. Over the A, then on the A, I think I'm going to do this little accent mark. Let's read the history anymore. I think I have one more A here. And legend becomes myth. I don't know if this is fun for you guys. I'm having fun with it. Okay. Need a couple more dots. Some of them even have lines through them, but that just reminds me of being crossed out. I don't want that. Some have little circles over them. I think I'll do, over the Y, I'm going to put a little circle. Do I have another Y? I have another Y. History. History. Something on with the C. What can I do with the C? 2 dots again? I think I'll go with 2 dots over the C. Just because I wanted to have quite a few of these little history. Becomes legend, and legend becomes myth. Dede, sorry, I am I love Tolkien and don't know what all the dots and things mean either. Okay. And I almost want the Fellowship of the Ring to be a little thicker. I don't know. I'll leave that for now. Okay. Now, do I want any extra swirls or anything on my S's? Because sometimes that looks kind of cool too. Swooshes. And swooshes can go either way. I think I will do a couple swooshes. Just to give the S's something of their own. What else? There's no lower, anything on the lower. But, okay, these look like little crosses. What about the H's? Maybe I'll do a extra swirl on the H's. Okay, that's probably enough. You know, I don't know, something in the M's maybe. There's also some other little marks. Or I could just do another, I think I'll just do another circle. What about in the N? Let's just do talking to myself here, guys. Just making this up. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it with that now. Because I want to spend a little time distressing the edges. All right, so let's just go with that. All right, now I want to splatter a little, but judiciously splatter. And I'll have to splatter and dry as I go. So now I'm going to wet down my ink. So let's move the phone. Let's get a brush. Get a floppy brush. So I'm going to wet down my ink just a little. Okay, I need a pencil case here. I'm going to wet this down just a little. And I want to splatter just a little. I don't want it to, be really, I just want it to have like a distressed look. I might have a couple big blobs, but pretty much I want it all to be pretty small. And you probably won't even be able to see this. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to splatter and dry, splatter and dry. And then I'm going to distress the edges with paint, maybe some gold, Okay, so now let's dry. It's going to take a minute, guys, but this is the process. All right, going to heat gun. I'll try to maybe do, after I'm completely done, and give it a couple hours to dry really well so I can erase the pencil line, I will try to do like a 10-second video and put it on Twitter. Did y'all trick her head Dorothy into streaming? I don't want this to roll up on, where's my Kleenex? I don't want this to roll up on itself and the dots become smears, So I'm going to just try to wick up any, like, big dots that might really smear. Okay, moving down, splattering down the second half here. It rolled up. It got away from me. Okay. Now, let's move the ink off the table. Clean this brush. All right, let's dry this. Then we're going to do some paint and distress and maybe like crinkle and tear and rip the edges. Make it look old. I have to set my camera up on tripod, and so I have two hands to unscroll the scroll, or just do it on my phone. That might even be harder though. Yes, I know. I'm gonna get those weights out. I will do that. Okay, hopefully that's pretty dry. Where are my weights? I think they're right over here. So these are the weights that Sarah sent me, and they have little dents in them for to rest your pen in. So if you're weighting it down, you can set your pen down. All right, let me get a baby wipe and clean my hands. Let me just go wash them. Okay, let's check the time. Joycey's probably going to stream on her birthday. Okay, we have an hour. Okay, we have an hour. It's 12. Let's see how much time we got. Okay, we're good. We're good on time. All right. So they're real heavy. They're made for weighting down your scrolls. All right. So let's make some space. I think I'll eat my other cookie real quick while I'm picking out some paints. Hang on. Picking out a couple colors of paint here. Maybe those two browns. Get a baby wipe for smearing. And this is a new brown. I got to open it up with an X-Acto. So I'm going to put out a little chocolate brown and a little brown sienna or burnt sienna. I'm going to use a baby wipe to smear it on. Hopefully we won't make too much of a hot mess, but I can't promise you anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by just distressing the edges. So I'll probably let's go ahead and start with maybe just a combo of the two and see what happens. And what I want to do is start I wanted to kind of get, oh, see? Ah, it is, my ink is still wet and I'm trying to smear. Made a mess. That's okay. Let's see if I can kind of, I'm going to have to hit it with the heat gun longer. See, this is why I say you think it's dry and it's not. But what I want to do is I want to distress all the edges. See if I can kind of fix, I'll just paint over those dots. I want to distress all the edges. All right, let's go back to the heat gun. I got to dry this some more, guys, because those dots are not dry. And I'm smearing them. You think it's dry and it never is. You never heard me growl at my work? Doesn't happen too often. I'm just going to have to dry as I go here, make sure. Get another Kleenex, make sure. A couple of those little dots there. Because I'm telling you, you think they're dry. All right, let's go back to our finger painting. All right, let's see if I can just be more conscious of the smearage. So let's get a couple colors of the brown. Got some white in there. Let me turn that around. Let's move I don't need the calendar in the way. And what I want to do, now that I'm aware of the dots, let's be more careful. I'm going to distress all the edges with paint, and I'll probably like rip it a little bit, make a couple little folds. See, I can see where I'm smearing some of those dots again. Don't get me started on the chin hair. Terry, you're so funny. Okay, so see, those dots are not dry, so I'm going to try to avoid, let's just try to avoid the dots. Oh my gosh. Because, you know, a baby wipe is wet, but which is what I want, because I want the bottom edge to be wet. But I'm trying to do too much too fast. I'm trying to get that wet edge, and the ink is not completely dry. So, yeah. Because I want to tear some edges, and I want gold on there. I have a vision. And the dots are messing me up. Yeah, see, I'm smearing these down here too. So I'm just blend them in. Have to make them look like wormholes now. I'm gonna have to go with insect. And actually, I want to trim this off because I'm so short at the end of the page. I don't want too much excess paper at the beginning because we ran out of room. All right. So I'm standing up here, guys, so it's hard to see chat. All right. Where's my other? So right now I'm just kind of adding paint at the ends. See, there's more little dots there I'm smearing. Okay. Hang on, guys. We're getting there. At least it's starting to lie down flat now that it's wet. So that's one good thing. So I'm just going back and forth between the two colors of paint here. I'm going to dry it well and see what kind of edging I can put. Because all this, what I want to do in here is I want to take the wet baby wipe with the paint on it and kind of just lightly smear in there. But I can't do that until I can erase the pencil and the dots are dry. That has to be dry before I can do the like lightly smudging in there. You'll have to envision with me. Whoops, a little bit of white paint there. Okay. Phase 1. All right, let me dry it a little bit. All right. Rechat for a minute. If I could get it, I'll test it and see if I can get it dry enough to erase lightly. But I got to be careful of the dots. Those are what's really going to smear. Give me a minute, guys. But now it's laying flat because of the wet on the edges. Thanks, Eileen. A little bit more distressing ideas in my head. It just furled. It just fell off the table. All right, let's see if I can get a kneaded eraser, something not too, I don't know where my kneaded eraser is. Something not too strenuous to the no, I'm not finding my kneaded eraser. So let's just go with a white eraser. And let's see if I can, let me test it out here. It looks like an old, it's going to look like old. It's going to look old, but it's not going to be wood. It's going to be, because I'm going to add more. I have to be careful going over the letters. Even while I'm erasing this, I'm really leery of doing this, because any little bit of wet ink is going to smear. So I'm just looking at it carefully. Same thing when you go to brush it. I'm not going to brush it off. I'm going to kind of shake it off when I'm done here. Because if I smear it, you know, not that it really matters. This old parchment looking idea here. But I want to erase my pencil lines. But I hope y'all kind of had fun just doing this today and looking at some old Mimi and some old oh, I need to shake that off. Shipping paper art. I'm doing this as lightly as I can, but I'm sure it's smearing some of those dots. Again, if you were doing this on a parchment or a paper or somebody's, you know, piece, you would definitely not want to erase like till the next day. Seriously, wait 24 hours. I'm not really paying, I'm sure I'm missing something in chat, guys, because I'm really concentrating here. Who will be watching Survivor tonight and playing along with us? Me, Janet, I know Terry. Oh, thanks, Miss Aroma. It's really not that good, to tell you the truth. The lettering is not that good. I don't practice it enough to keep up with, you know, keeping my hand in it. And I ran out of room at the very end, as you can see. Just barely got that last letter on there. Okay, now I'm going to take this off the table and kind of shake it out. Tap it off. And hopefully not smear anything else. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the baby white. Let me get a fresh one because I want to be able to control how much I have on here. Thanks, guys. All right, now what I want to do is I want a minimum amount of paint. Minimum amount of paint. And I want to, oh, see, it's smearing. Yeah, it's smearing. I can't do it for you guys. I can't finish because it's going to smear. Because it's still wet. Yeah, see, I'm smearing those dots and everything. The ink is just not set in yet. So I can work on the edges. I just won't be able to work around the dots and the ink. Because it's going to smear. It shows it's done. Yes, it is hand done for sure. All right, now what I want to do though is I want to kind of tear let's see which is the best way to go about this. Maybe going this way so I can kind of get it going. I want to kind of rip some edges. I want to be in control of the tear. I feel like I'm back in my prop making days, back in visual merchandising. All right, so I'm just going to tear it toward me so you can see the core a little bit. Okay. So I'll work on the edges. I won't be able to do this part right now, guys, because that's not dry enough for me to smear into. All right. So I want some to have a little bit bigger tears, but mostly have a rough edge, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink it. But it shows, okay, I got my checked and froze there. Is it just Twitter? When will the ink be thoroughly dry? Yeah, I would wait overnight personally for it to be dry. I mean, if I'm careful, I could go in there and diddly with it, but I can't smear it like I want. So I want some bigger tears on some of it, just a little bit here and there. I need to read it. I haven't read it since I wrote it. The quote. I wonder if I could maybe paint. Maybe if I did gold. Maybe if I went around. Maybe if I painted around the letters gold. That would look very kind of elfish. Elfin. Although I didn't use the elfin script. The fancy, you know, fancy script. Okay, I don't have a lot of space on this edge here. Because I ran out of room. Okay. All right. Turning it over and doing the other side. I'll be thinking while I'm ripping. I want some deeper tears, but mostly just a edge here. Dede, dazzle that thing. It's just I'm trying to think of how I could do the background, you know, while I don't want to smear my dots and all. We'll see. Hang on. We're going to keep working it. If y'all, look, if it doesn't turn out, you know not what to do, right? If you're making a scroll. All right, there we go. Let's clean this off here. So what it says, facts become history, history becomes legend, and legend becomes myth. And that's J.R.R. Tolkien from the Fellowship of the Ring. So, I'm wondering, let's see, what kind of gold paint? Let me see. Do I want a gold? Do I want a copper? Maybe a little of both. Maybe copper on the edges and splendid gold. Do I want splendid gold or do I like the Emperor's Gold. Nice splendid gold. I'll make it shinier. Or I could do copper. Let me get my, here, we'll test on this. We'll test on my practice sheet from this morning. All right, I need another tray. That one's full of brown paint. Let's get one that's, okay, so I'm going to use, let's see if these are still good. I haven't used them in so long. Yeah. Okay, so this one is Splendid Gold, and these are deco art. And this one I think is ruby, yeah, royal ruby, and it's like a copper color. So we're going to do a little of both. So I can go ahead, let's go ahead, and I know I can do, you know what though, I wanted to ink this first. Let's wait on the paint, move the scissors, and let's see what kind of a brown ink I have sitting over. Let's see if I have something in here. Let's see what we got. I don't even know how any of these are any good still. Let's see. And I want it to be that's too much the same. It needs to be a dark brown. I'm going to have to dig out another tray. Ooh, that's a pretty yellow ochre color. Here we go. Chocolate brown. Let's see if this baby's still good. All right, where's my little... Yeah, it's still good. All right, so what I want to do is, and I don't want it neat. I want it very, see how that's not neat at all? I want some thick, some thin. I want it to be very distressed. And I think I might even add just a touch of black on top of this. So I'm going to go along all the edge. It's not even really quite brown enough even. Well, probably when I add the black, it'll be okay. Because I really want it darker. So I'm going to edge all the edges here. See, I want it to look really distressed like that. Are you still with the tour, guys? Uh-oh. You want to distress it, but yeah, you got to like not tear your ink pad apart. Oh, I think I should just go with paint. Oh, okay. I'll have to glue this. So what I have to do with this, and now I can't use it right now though, is I just need to glue, let's glue the little, let's put some Eileen's tacky down there and glue the little ink pad back down. Now I'll have to sit, can't use it now for a while. Where's the lid? Gee, what do I do with the lid? Oh. Where is the lid? Well, dang. I didn't put it back in the little, there it is. So that'll have to sit. So, I'm going to mix up a black and a brown ink and just ink it. All right, let's go back to this one. Because I want it darker than the brown I'm using here, but not black. So, let's see. All right, so let's go with black and just a touch of brown. Let's see. Oh, let's not get into the white. Start over here. Let's see what I can do with this. Yeah, that's better. See that? Why is my lighting all of a sudden got really dark in here? And I haven't even paid attention. See the black and the brown on the edge? Let's move the light over a little. All right, I gotta make some space. Gotta move the glue, move the coffee, the scissors. This is kind of one of those, it takes up a lot of room projects. All right. So I'm just picking up brown and black. I'm just going to, and just get on the table, so that means it's probably getting on the back side of the scroll, which that doesn't matter except when I go to make a mess and drag it around the room. I'm trying to get it as old and weathered as I can, you know? I'm working it. And this, see, it needs to be smeared, but I can't with the dots. Those dots are wet still. How are we doing on time? Okay, about 30 minutes. Let's see what we can get done in 30 minutes. Yes, the old, well, I glued it back down. It'll stay. I've done it before where I've torn off the ink pad and I put it back down with Eileen's tacky. It'll be fine in a day or two. Yeah, this is quicker, guys. Okay, let's go down the other side. Remember when I did the leather journals, the faux leather journals? The dilution journals, made them look like leather. Although this isn't supposed to look like leather, but I want it to look just like old and distressed. A little more black, I think. A little bit more black. Almost looks like it's burnt. And I have done that too, actually burnt edges. Gotta be careful though, you don't want to set your calligraphy on fire. Yes, those dots are gonna haunt me, Eileen. I really technically probably should have done that the very last. Like when I was completely done with everything, then go back and do a little splatter. You know, it didn't have to be done, but I'm trying to show you all the things that I would do with it, right? But I did get my room redone yesterday. I spent all day cleaning the house and the room, rearranging, swapped tables from one side of the room to the other. So now I have to get used to the light on this side of the room, which this was kind of like a test for me. I'll go back and look at the video and see how terrible, how terrible the lighting is. We'll just pretend we did this at candlelight, right? Okay, now, let's see what we can do. Let me dry this off real quick, guys. Well, Janet's already gone and had coffee and come back. All right, so here we go. We have the edges looking nice and crispy. But what I want to do is now I got to decide, and I'm going to practice on this, is if I want, let me get that background. Let's just do a little bit of edge here, just so that I can have something to like compare to. Okay. Because what I'm thinking is gold or something on the on here in the background, and kind of just blend it in. Let me get a brush here. So many little things. That might be too big. All right. So let's see here. Let me just play with the copper. See how that just pops it right out? If I can just paint around the letters, maybe even just a little bit over them, give them a little glow. So there's the copper, or I can just do the copper around the edges and blend that into the gold. Let's see what it looks like going into the gold. I'm not sure. Maybe a little of both, guys. It could probably be a little copper and gold. Let me show you here. That might work. Look, the copper and the gold. What do you think? Because the copper, see, the copper will end up kind of fading into the brown. And I could even pick up a little of the brown and get some of the copper. And then go and blend it in with some gold. Let's see, I might like that too. Just kind of three-prong attack. Brown, copper, and gold. To make it look, because see, I'm not getting it soaking wet, and I can go over the ink with the metallic paint because it's not getting it wet like a baby wipe does. You know? I'm liking it. We're going with it. Look. Both? Yeah. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. Here we go, guys. We're going to spend the last 20 minutes or whatever we have doing this. So I got my brown, the copper, and the gold. And I'm just going to kind of go back and forth, not cleaning my brush, but just kind of going back and forth between the three colors. And just kind of see what we can do. All right, we decided. We prevailed with only one growl. Jean would be proud. Only one growl. And I guess a little bit on the letters wouldn't matter. Or I could go back over it and fix it if I get too much. You know? If I get too much paint on any of the letters. But I think it might be okay to kind of go over it. I mean, get a little bit on top of the letters. I don't think that'll hurt it. Color, the copper is red, royal ruby. Royal ruby. And then the gold is splendid gold. They're both by Deco Art. All right, so I'm going to add a little copper, a little brown, you know, flat brown closer to the edge. This might take a while, people. But I'm just going to work on it until time is up. So if you have any questions or anything, it's probably a good time to ask, because now I can kind of watch chat a little. Again, I'm not cleaning my brush. I'm just kind of getting them all to flow together. And it's an angle brush. I got a little point on it. I can get in there. And after all this, I might have to go and splatter on top. Because I'm getting rid of a lot of the dots with the paint. Thanks, Terry Trouble. I'm loving this and so cool the way you're doing it. Thanks, Orla. We're making it up as we go. testing it out, seeing what would work. Amazes how you can change anything into something. Well, you just gotta not be afraid. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, the worst that could happen, let me tell you the worst that could happen today. The worst that could happen is at the very end, you don't have enough room for that last letter. That almost happened. But even then, you just start over, you know? You just start over. And if I get some of these letters too covered up, or some of the little, phonetic little accents or anything, I'll just go back over it with a Sharpie. I mean, this isn't like a calligraphy piece, it's just a little history thing that I wanted to do while I was doing some history research. And I said, I think I'm going to make that for the show tomorrow. So, yeah, a little bit of brown here. Let's bring that down, a little more copper. But you can see it's going to take a while, right? I'm only on the second letter. I mean, the second word. I should probably get in here with a smaller brush, like in the letters. But I'm rolling with it now. Rolling with it, people. There's the true color right there. Right there. You can see. It's kind of cool, isn't it? I'm liking. But I do need to go eat some because I feel a headache coming on from not eating. So I need to kind of a couple of minutes. But what I'll do is I'll work on it throughout the day. Maybe I don't know if I'll finish it today, at least by tomorrow. And I'll try to make a little like 15-second video. I think 10, 15 seconds is what you can have on Twitter. And do a quick little video and unroll it. I'll set up my phone or my camera, one or the other, and do a quick little video and post that so y'all can see the whole thing. Because, if I just took a picture of it like this, you don't really get it, I mean, you can get it a little, but if I unrolled it and you could see it all like that, I think that would be better. Yeah, it makes it look like brittle. There you go. That's a good description. It does. It makes the paper look brittle. Seen it is ancient text. The edge of the paper just became history. It's all good. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just adding a little bit of copper here and there. A little bit of brown here and there to kind of blend in the copper. And then kind of pull in a little bit of gold. So it all kind of blends together. And I think, like I said, because I'm covering up so many of the black dots that I splattered, I might just go back and just, at the very end, when I don't have to worry about moving anything, I'll splatter those dots again. And I might have to get in a couple places in here with a smaller brush. I'm doing pretty good. Oh, there's white in there. I forgot there's white on that tray. Let's kind of blend that out. So yeah. But you can see I'm not being overly fussy with it, you know? Kind of just moving along here. But I have made old parchments, old, faux leather books with paint and different things for different, like, did some things for when I was, played games a lot. I'd make, like, faux props that, for the fans, and let's see what else. Of course, when I worked in visual merchandising doing props and stuff, of course, they're usually much bigger than this. I found a picture the other day, and I forgot to, what did I do with it? I found a picture of me on a ladder in a store back when. Did I put it in the stack? I did with it. But I pulled it out to show you guys. And then I don't know where I put it. Okay, I got a little bit of black in there. Let me get some of that out. So yeah, if any of y'all do Survivor, look for you. Janet and me and whoever else is going to be there. And I know it's hard, some of the girls on the West Coast, they can't really tweet and talk because they're not watching the show at the same time we are. So that's kind of a pain. Because the show comes on like an hour later to them than it does to us. A little more brown up here, a little more copper. I'm trying to kind of keep it consistent all along the edges. Will you replace? Yes, I'm gonna. Yeah, Terry, I'm gonna replace the splats. Yeah, I said that a minute ago because I'm covering them all up, and I want those splats. I will resplat, Terry. I will resplat. Oh, that's a little too much black right there. Let's yeah, I'll let that dry and go over it with the gold and stuff. Or I could hit it with the heat gun and do it, but let's just keep moving here. But it looks cool with the shine. Look, see? Doesn't that look cool, guys? I am liking it. Do you want to be there, Tim? Are you on Twitter, Kim? Yeah, we all do it on Twitter. Need a little bit more brown. There's a live feed. Yes. Oh, yeah. It's live. It's live, Debbie. I'm not sure what you mean. Sometimes Jeff will come on. Jeff Probst. He'll come on during the show. Sometimes he'll do East Coast. Sometimes he'll do West Coast. Because he's on the West Coast. Well, most of the time, unless he's traveling. Let's see. Rupert. There's probably, I'd say, maybe, probably I keep in contact with, and not just during the show, but maybe about 8 different ones, I'm thinking, off and on, that I follow and chat with every now and then. I try not to be like a fangirl, I try not to be too much. I don't know if the West Coast. No, you can't watch it on Twitter. We're not watching. We're tweeting about it on Twitter. Maybe there's a place you can get the feed, but I'm not sure because I don't need to look at. I don't have to worry about that. But I don't know that you can do that because some of the girls say, "Oh, don't I don't want to. I'll not be here until after the show because I don't want to know what's going to happen." So I don't think so, Debbie. But I can't swear to it, you know. Yes, I love Rupert too. He chats with us every now and then. He always is promoting his he has a like a child like a foster not a foster kids, but they're kind of like that. I mean, he helps kids a lot. Has a foundation. I'm not sure if it's called the Rupert Foundation, but yeah. If you follow him on Facebook, you can find out his information. Okay, Julie Topaz. How we doing on time? We're good. Okay, got 10 more minutes. I'm getting there. I don't know that we'll completely finish in 10 minutes, but I'm getting down to the end. Just going back and forth to the brown, the copper, and then the gold mostly right in the around the lettering. I'll clean it up though, put some more dots in, fix a few of the letters, and then make a video, a 10-15 second video to post. Yeah, I've watched I think what is this year 15 years now, 16, I forget how many years. Watched every single season. I told y'all the story about my friend Julie who used to live here in the subdivision. And then it was during the Rupert, the pirate episodes. I'll tell y'all this story real quick while I'm finishing. Um, so Julie lived in the subdivision here, and she and I we were gamer friends. We'd get together. Both our husbands traveled, so we'd get together and do gaming like till all hours of the night. Anyway, so when they retired and moved to Florida, it was during the middle of the Survivor season, the one with Rupert. So you can see how many years ago it was. It was the first one with Rupert. He's been on, again on, like some of the special, family one and, a couple other things. So anyway, Julie moved, and it was really sad because we would get together every Survivor, either at her house or mine. And again, usually our husbands were both traveling, so, we'd get together. And so anyway, it was kind of a sad time that she wasn't here for me, or we weren't there for each other during that very last Survivor season finale to see who won. So at 8 o'clock, now mind you, she's 8 hour drive, 8 hour drive into Florida from me. 8 o'clock that night, my doorbell rings, and there is Julie on my doorstep, completely decked out in a pirate outfit. All decked out in a pirate outfit. And so she drove her car all the way from where she was in Florida, dressed as a pirate, getting out and getting gas, whatever, and showed up at my door at 8 o'clock on that Wednesday. I think it used to be on Thursday then. I don't remember. But anyway. Rupert's Kids. Thanks, Julie Topaz. Yeah. For Disadvantaged Youth. Yeah. Rupert's Kids. I knew it was something like that. Thank you, Julie. So if any of y'all want to, help support Rupert, he does all kinds of, special, where he travels and goes to different things. And yeah. So yeah, she showed up at my door, 8 hour drive to be with me on that last Survivor. Isn't that awesome? Yep, way. And I might add that she also had a convertible and I think she drove halfway with the top down. Almost here at the end, guys. Need a little bit more copper. Need a little bit more of each color, actually. I know, right? Isn't that awesome? And we kept in touch for the longest time, but we kind of lost touch. She's the one that I told you that when she moved here, she and her husband moved here from like New York or Boston, somewhere. I think they lived in both places, but they lived up in the East Coast. And they moved down to Georgia from the East Coast, up in Boston, New York areas where they're from. And it was like culture shock for her coming down here to Georgia. And so anyway, and she rescued racing greyhounds. She rescued those dogs. So when I met her, she had two. I think they both probably passed since that time, because that's like 15 years ago. I don't know how many years ago. It started on Thursdays. Yeah, I thought it was Thursdays. Thanks, Julie Topaz. So anyway, I was walking down the street. I was actually pulling Cam in a wagon, in a little red wagon, taking him for a walk when he was a baby. And Julie was out there in their yard, in the neighborhood. She just lived a block down from me. We would walk to each other's houses all the time. And I said, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Dede. What's your name?" And she looked at me like I had three heads, because you just don't do that up in New York and Boston. And she'd even tell her friends after she moved down to Florida, because she moved down like in a retirement village, one of those places, villages or whatever. And she said she still misses me because of just walking up to her and talking to her and meeting her, and we were friends the whole time she lived here. But she had some stories to tell, like, she said she just couldn't get used to going to the grocery store, and like if she would be in the makeup, aisle or something, just looking around, and someone would walk up to her and go, "Hey, hon, that color looked good on you. You need to buy that color. You need that color." And she'd look at him like, "What? Why are you talking to me? Do I know you?" But that's how we do down here. We're Suzanne. You just talk to strangers. What's wrong with that, people? But she wasn't used to that, And then she said that sometimes she would talk to, like, she'd do that. She'd talk to strangers down in Florida in the retirement community, and they'd look at her like she had three heads, just like she did at first. Because it was like, who does that? Yes, we do that down here. Yeah, I think there's two seasons a year. Yeah, they come on in usually February. The February, and then what was the other, July? So July, August, September. Anyway, there's two a year. So yeah, two seasons a year. Yeah, I haven't had. Yeah, since she moved, Sarah. I know. Is that sad? Oh, Dede, you haven't had a friend in 15 years? We're at the very end, guys. We're at the end. It needs a little more tweaking, needs a little more tweak. But anyway, so yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Again, I will throw on some more splatters, Terry. I'll throw on those splatters, and I will, see, I'm able to cover up some of my messed up areas here because the paint is going over the ink. So I can cover that up and smooth this out and add. So yeah, in some of the areas I got a little sloppy with going over some of the letters too heavily, but I'll just go in there and fix them a little bit with a Sharpie because I can. All right, so let's see. Let me just kind of scroll down here. A couple little areas, but I've got to go eat. And I don't know if Joycey's coming on. Remember, it's her birthday today, so hopefully she got our card, because it's from all of us. Hoosier hospitality, that's what they call it where you are, right? Indiana. Julie Topaz. Okay, so here we go, guys. Facts become history. History becomes legend. And legend becomes myth. J.R.R. Tolkien, Fellowship of the Ring. And I will, like I said, clean it up, splatter it. I'm going to have to go back over that Fellowship of the Ring because I kind of lost that with the paint. But, yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed this. We will, like I said, I'll try to make a little video of it for you. And it's just, this is flat out of shipping paper, people. Haven't heard anything from Joycey. So she's here. Okay. I would like to watch other streamers. Yeah, Lisa, can somebody post Carrie's blog for me, or for Lisa? Thanks, Vicky S. So hope you all enjoyed that, and don't forget to watch. I haven't uploaded obviously yet. By the time you watch this one, it will be uploaded hopefully. Where we talked about for about an hour and a half, we talked about list and getting ideas. Look, I'm going to shake my finger. List and getting ideas for your imagination. So, yeah. Thanks, Janet. All right, guys. Y'all have a good afternoon. I never know if I'm going to stream on Fridays or not, but maybe see you on Friday or we'll see you on Twitter or around. So, thanks, everybody. Thank you, guys.